Good evening. Welcome to the Mandalorian stream here at Nerd Nation. And today we're going to be talking about episode 3, The Sin. Oh. Joining me once again is Darth Zamir or Darth Zeta even, and Goatee One. Very nice. Love it. Next time I'll put my name to Jabba the Greek. So
Awesome.
yeah, Jabba the Greek next time. All right, so look.
Spoilers, by the way.
About episode 3. Just got to say, like, for everyone joining us, if you're new to the stream, that Mandalorian has been, when you have high expectations and something meets those expectations, it's just nice to have something do that for a change, rather than be left disappointed or flattened, or like with everything else, gaming and other films that you think are going to be good suck. Mandalorian has hit that little sweet spot. It's got a very good producer in Jon Favreau. He knows Star Wars. He knows what he wants, and it's very good. And hopefully it opens a door for him to eventually take the crown off of dumbfuck Kennedy, who's really making a hash of everything. And with that being said, let's get straight into the discussions of episode 3. Goatee One and Zeta, if you want to take the floor while I keep an eye on the YouTube chat.
Okay, Dookie. Oh, it starts off with the Mandalorian arriving on that planet, which we don't know the name of yet. Basically, the planet with all the bounty hunters on and Carl Weathers. And I think Carl Weathers' character is called Grief, isn't it? I'll call him Carl.
Something like that, yeah.
Combat Carl. Anyway, Grief, isn't it? He's got Grief Canada or some shit like that. He's got Baby Yoda alongside him, and he's going to take the package back to the client, played by Werner Herzog. And he does that, and whilst doing that, with the exchange, he gets an ice cream maker full of Beskar armor. And it's a shit ton. I mean, I thought it would be more than what was shown, but apparently that's still quite a lot was shown. I think there was maybe about 18 bricks of Beskar. And the Mandalorian is very much connected to Baby Yoda now, especially after Baby Yoda saved his life with the Mudhorn. So he couldn't help himself. He has to ask the client, "What are you going to do with the baby?" And the client gets pissed off with him, saying, "You know what, mate? You're not supposed to ask questions. You're supposed to do the job and walk away like it's never happened." And the Mandalorian says, "All right," and takes the Beskar armor and walks away. So what do you think of that scene, Ginge? Because I thought all of that was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a little bit before where they're in the ship and Baby Yoda reaches for the little ball.
Oh, yes, of course.
I'm like, toy, puts him back in his little box. But, as they're kind of walking up towards, as they're walking in to where they're hiding out, and the stormtrooper, like, grabs the thing a bit rough and is like, "Hey, watch it." He's like, "You watch it," kind of thing. So you kind of know he's starting to like feel for it. Again, knowing his history, that he was abandoned as a child because his parents were slaughtered by the separatist robots, the droids at the time. So, he's obviously got that kind of attachment of like, I don't want to leave another like orphan kid. So takes it to Werner Herzog. They give him his little Beskar stuff, and then when they wheel the Baby Yoda away, and the Yoda looks at him like, "Oh, you fucking manipulative wankers! You know what you're doing? Suck your mums, you fucking assholes!" Because but the setup. Okay, the setups are easy to understand. You know that what's going to happen ahead. But yeah, that scene, it hit the right spot. It gets you in the feels. You're like, "Oh shit, what are they going to do to it?" Because the Doctor is from like that planet. Is it Planet Io?
Yeah, the Camino Islands.
Camino Islands, sorry. Yeah.
The Camino planet.
Doctor. So my question is, Is this thing a clone that was cloned by the Emperor back during the Republic era, and obviously, they didn't realize it would take this long for these little things to grow, or is this a newborn thing? Newborn, and they're going to clone that.
Well, regarding it being a clone, it wasn't like episode 1 was not even 50 years ago from that particular period of time. So if the baby 50 years old, it would have to be, for argument's sake, if it was a clone of Yoda, it would have to be even before the separatists were even getting involved with shit.
Well, I mean, it's not far off, because this takes place, how many, is it 5 or 10 years after?
It's 5 years after Return of the Jedi, but overall, the baby's 50 years old.
So if the baby's 50 years old, Return of the Jedi takes, it could have possibly happened around about Phantom Menace time.
No, roughly,
because but don't forget, the cloning process was already taking part. I know that was 10 years after, or 8 years after, whatever. Between episode 1 and 2. But you never know what they were doing before that. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Maybe this is like a newborn thing and they're gonna clone that.
That's a good point. Ray, what you got anything to say about the opening scene?
Cutting back to the cockpit when little baby Yoda is climbing around, I really loved the character animation, like the time and the effort they put into that. And when the bounty hunter puts it back in his cot and the ears go down and the eyes, and it's like a moment. I thought that was just spot on. And then later on at the end, when our little bounty hunter Mando puts his foot in it by asking what they're going to do with their baby, the client's response was just absolutely brilliant. And there's in some ways just saying, shut your hole or there's going to be trouble.
Yeah.
Time to move on. And just the way they did it, I thought it was just awesomely done.
I'll give them this, Gins. I'm not going to jump too far ahead here, but I do want to continue going on about the show. But they did give you enough time to almost forget about Baby Yoda for a little while, because the next scene, obviously, after he takes the Beskar, is that he's walking all the way back to the Mandalorian base in the other part of town.
Yeah.
And my man gets an upgrade, Ginge. But before that, he has some a little back and forth, a few handbags with some of the other Mandalorians who are pissed off that he's using Beskar armor that was stolen by the Empire. Yeah, when they took over Mandor, and but it's got the Imperial print on it.
Yeah.
So they're pissed off about that because he's he's basically saying you're working with our enemy who are paying us with our bloody product. So that's why they're pissed off with him. And apparently that particular Mandalorian, the chunky one, was Jon Favreau.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe not in body, but in voice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got every right to put yourself in your own product if you want to. So that was cool. I thought I recognized the voice, but I couldn't pin it because it was so distorted.
It hasn't been confirmed yet. Apparently it's him. A lot of people are saying it's him.
Yeah, I mean, that scene was cool as well when you see all the other Mandalorians approaching. But it's catch-22, they stole your armor and you want it back, but what are you going to do? Send out what's left of you to fight for it back? You don't even know where they've stored all the armor. So, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. So, if you want to get it back, you got to do what's necessary. This is the way.
Was that the only group of Mandalorians is that all the Mandalorians that are left, or is that just a particular clan?
I don't know.
Because they're becoming like the Jedi now. Like fucking once upon a time there was billions and trillions of them. Now they're like fucking 5 or 6 of these cunts. Like, come on.
They've been like what? They're not even the original Mandors, They you don't have to be an original Mandor to be a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So it's like randoms and that. But I'm interested to see. I really found fascinating. For me, what I really loved was when you saw that droid. I forget what those droids are called.
The separatist battle droids.
Yeah, I was so I loved seeing that bit in the flashback, and I want to see more of them attacking. like innocent people and things like that. It's I don't know why, I just found it so menacing seeing that thing. Like,
I don't know why.
They have a thirst for destruction.
I don't know why the separatist were just going around this village just mowing people down in the first place. I mean, what was the point of all of that? I didn't.
It was to drum up support to build the clone army, which will eventually just, take over.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, what am I about? Of course.
Yeah. That's how you do it. You plant.
And this is why it's quite obvious to see from these flashbacks, James, is why he hates droids.
Yeah, exactly. It's obvious to see why he hates droids, but I definitely want to see more of that. I think that's really like fascinating. What else was there? So there was that. Yeah, and then on to the next bit where he goes to the bar.
Yeah, but before you got anything to say about the scene with the Mandalorians in the cave underground whilst he was getting his upgrade?
I thought it was cool the way they kind of timed the flashbacks with his armor getting created. Like each beat, you saw another little storyline, which showed why he has this kind of loner mentality and fear of droids. Oh, that was pretty cool.
I would say very fear, but hatred, definitely hatred.
Yeah.
That was my thoughts on that section.
Yeah. All right, on to the next bit then.
Oh, where he goes into the bar looking like a fucking don. He's walking. When he's walking in there, he's saying, "Yeah, I'm the fucking man," because he's got all his fucking Beskar armor, apart from his right leg. If you look at his right thigh, that's the only part not covered in Beskar. But other than that, he's top to bottom, pretty much Beskar. He's flash as fuck. I don't think he realizes that his body armor is worth a shitload of money, or he probably does.
He probably does. Yeah.
You just rub his armor and you're fucking rich as fuck. And he walked in there and he's just ready to move on to the next job. That's it. He doesn't want to relax. He doesn't want to chill out with the toilet girls and stuff like that. He doesn't want to get wrecked. Even though Carl Weathers in this bar, while he's so happy with the Mandalorian, really loves his work. He wants to have a good time. He wants to look after his best client. But no, Mando wants to go on to another job. Give me the puck, motherfucker. And this fucking calamari guy pops up and he's ready to go there and take him. And after he leaves the bar, he's in the cockpit. And then he's having a moment because as he's about to shoot off, the gear stick doesn't have the ball on it, which the Baby Yoda was playing with. And then he gives him a 4. And this is where you have to give Pedro Pascal a lot of credit. Because, my God, you can read this guy's body. You don't have to see his face. His body is giving everything. And it's so subtle. Yeah. He's not overly doing it with his body. You can just tell that he's in thought. The camera goes up to his face, and whilst he's not to his face, but, right up to his helmet. And yet you can somehow read through the helmet what he's thinking. You know what I mean? It's brilliant. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's
brilliant acting.
Yeah. And totally. No, it's such a great moment. Like I said, less is more.
Yeah, exactly.
Less is more, and that just proves it. That was a really great moment. It was coming though. He just knew it was coming.
I actually forgot about Baby Yoda for a second though. I personally forgot about him for a second until he got back to the cockpit.
Oh, did you? Oh no, I didn't.
No, I never forgot him. But because the story was progressing, he's dealing with the Mandos and they're talking about all this shit. And then he's dealing with Carl Weathers and he's looking like, he's wearing all this lovely kit. We've had the flashback for a brief second. He just came, Yoda was out of my mind. It wasn't until he got back to the cockpit that I also remembered that Yoda was still in this fucking show with the gear stick. So great stuff in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
I say well, I like Carl Weathers in this as well. Like, he's just, I don't know, it's such a good fit for that character.
Yeah.
Just this old bounty hunter is just
legend.
And I can pause as well if you want. Let's go and get you loosened up and all this kind of shit. But yeah, Carl Weathers is a fucking legend. He's so underrated. Like even in Happy Gilmore, you stuck him in Happy Gilmore and he was brilliant in that.
Yeah.
Just stick him in anything and he's fantastic.
Tubbs.
Yeah, Tubbs. Yeah.
Yeah, Tubbs. Was it Tubbs? The name of his character in Happy Gilmore?
I think so, something like that.
Yeah, but I just like some actors have become cult status legendary, and Carl Weathers 100% is in that bracket.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's done great stuff. Like, you know, he's been what's his face? He was Dylan in Predator. He's been Combat Carl, Action Jackson. Have I missed anything out?
Well, he was Apollo Creed as well.
Oh, you have to spoil it. You should have said no. You should have said no. You had to say it, man. Oh, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Anything to say about that before we continue about the in the bar?
I mean, I like the way they kind of sowed the seeds for the cockpit scene to work, with Mando putting his foot in it everywhere, asking about the baby. But otherwise, I thought the whole sequence was very tidy and short and sweet, which took us right to where we wanted to be, really, which is back in the action.
Yeah, he actually, I forgot that one bit in the bar. He did actually ask about the baby to Carl Weathers in the bar.
Oh yeah, he did. You're right.
Did it twice.
Yeah, but it was okay to ask Carl Weathers because he's not a client. You know,
when the question came out, though, he didn't look happy that the Mando was asking the question.
Not in the sense that, you know, are you saying something more like than the question itself? Like, would you think I would ask? You know, how dare you? You know, of course not. It's part of the guild code. But yeah, I did. All of that was great. It was a good setup, and yep, finally, the Mando then decides, you know what, fuck this. Baby Yoda's coming with me. I'm gonna have my cake and I'm gonna fucking eat it. I've got all this Beskar shit. Let's go. And it becomes a great moment a great moment for this episode, because he blows up the wall, doesn't he? And he's in there and he's doing what people like to see, stormtroopers getting shot to shit. And he doesn't just shoot them, man. He stabs them. He goes, he shoots a fucking lasso at one of them. Get over here! And
yeah, that Scorpion moment.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Brilliant.
When he finally reaches Baby Yoda, after killing several stormtroopers, he has the opportunity to kill the scientist, but he doesn't. I think because the scientist was saying, don't hurt the kid. The scientist initially thought that Mando was going to attack the kid. So maybe he can respect the scientist like in a paternal way, that the scientist, he reminds me of his, not saying he reminds me of his dad, but you can imagine in that sense, it's very similar to him and his dad, when his dad was protecting the kid, all of that shit. Sorry for going on too much. But he doesn't kill the scientist. He takes Baby Yoda, and now he's got one hand with Baby Yoda, one hand with a pistol, and he's still taking guards out. He uses Whistling Bird, which is this thing he got when he was getting leveled up with his Beskar armor, which is some sort of mini little rocket launcher things that shot around. I hope he's still got a few more left, but he only killed 4 guards, and he looked like he had a shitload stuck up his hand.
Yeah, 16 or so of them.
And then finally, in my opinion, we get some really good use of the flamethrower. Because he burnt the fuck up. Yeah, he gave that stormtrooper some well done treatment, mate. But I want to make sure you understand that if you watch that scene again, when he does use the flamethrower, he does use his left arm. But I'm going to get back to something a little bit later on, which kind of pissed me off a little bit about this episode. But before we continue, what do you guys think of that particular scene where he's inside? I'll go with you, Ray, first.
I felt a little bit disappointed in the last episode with how easily the Mandalorian got beaten up. By the
Jawas.
The little monster.
No, the robot.
The Mudhorn.
The Mudhorn thing. But in this one, he was back in his element, and you could just see how he just kind of tactically picked everyone off, chose his entry route so nicely, and I almost got to feel like it's like watching a beefed up version of Batman as he's kind of wandering around, wall hugging and all that shit.
Batman with Splinter Cell. Batman, Splinter Cell, and John Wick. And this is. I was James. You want to say anything about this scene before? But I've got something to say about John Wick in a sec. But
I mean, like it was just it was a John Wick type scene. It was like, he knew his point of attack. He knew exactly how to take them all down. There was never any danger. The interesting thing is, that scientist is obviously going to play a part later on in this. Maybe we might find out more about what's going on, because you don't let someone like that live if they're not going to be relevant to the plot later. classic storytelling there.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting. Yeah. So, maybe they'll find out what their intention was with the baby. But that action scene was really great. It was really just like ruthless. How it took out those stormtroopers and how you can see like the blast holes when they hit and they go through them. I love the combat moment. The flamethrower moment was fantastic. Just like Cousin Cheeto says in there, that Baby Yoda is second to the flamethrower. Everyone loves
you got to highlight his comments.
Yeah, keep an eye on the comments there.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it does. It looks really good. His new armor it feels more like Jango Fett kind of look. That proper look like Jango. That's what it reminded me of when he put it all on. But yeah, right up until that point where he takes out the stormtroopers, it's not much else to add really. It was a fantastic scene, really well done.
Now this is why I think this is where I go John Wick, because the moment those fucking things start beeping, I never thought John Wick when he was saving Baby Yoda. I wasn't thinking John Wick. I thought it was a good action scene, but it didn't feel John Wick's rolling around with these fuckers and popping one in their head while he's got them in a headlock with his legs, before shooting another guy, and somehow he's got them both and he does a double DDT at the same time. But nevertheless, it felt John Wick in the moment where all these guys get their messages, of who to target, and now they're going to be going after the Mandalorian, and obviously he's round the corner because they're all on the same fucking planet in the same bloody town, so their shit's beeping crazy. We got and they all go after him, and then they have a massive fight in a section of the town. And before they do that, Carl Weathers is there, and he's on the side of the bounty hunters. He's really pissed off with the Mando. He doesn't see the bigger picture regarding the Mando. He's pissed off that the Mando's broken the code.
Of course, that's what he cares about.
Yeah.
Because you let one person break the code, then they'll all break the code.
Exactly. So you have to be punished, and that's why they're all after it. And
that's what I liked before we talk about the action scene. That's what I like about Carl Weathers is it gives him a chance. He's not like kill him straight away. He's like, look, just put the baby on the speeder and walk away, and we'll let this one slide. But of course, Mandalorian can't do that. The thing with that as well is those clickers. Who activated the clicker? Because once the bounty's brought in, that's it. It's done. You give that clicker in, the bounty's done. So that's a bit of a plot hole there, but it's just kind of there to add that John Wick moment, that dramatic.
It was very John Wick, wasn't it? It was
very John Wick.
Even the lighting of it and everything.
It's the only silly part I would say, because it's like, who fucking activated that thing if the bounty's already brought in?
I guess
I'm not same gripe. Exactly.
It was an instant new bounty on the Mandalorian, and they use those clickers to do it, But look, I can see a plot hole, but I can see how to get around it at the same time. What I mean?
It's a small one, but it's one that
it's a very easy one to do off screen. Yeah. But he has a battle, and I love the part where he jumps into that trailer and he tells the droid drive, and he puts it drive. You go, all right, fuck this, I'm going. But you know what? That kind of reminded me a little bit of Total Recall in the cab scene. When he's in the Johnny cab. You know what I mean? A little bit. But I loved it. It kind of made me think to myself, AI could just be manipulated just by putting a gun at it, for fuck's sake. But
what happens to that droid afterwards? Whether
yeah, but it was a really good moment, and then he got to use the flamethrower again, and this time for some reason it's on his right arm. I don't know why. I mean, that for me really pissed me off. It wasn't until the second time of viewing this shit. I
didn't fucking notice.
I noticed this straight on the second viewing that the flamethrower now from the left arm has gone to the right arm, and that kind of bugged me. It bugged me a lot. But other than that, yeah, maybe. But why he never even attempted to use the second one. But nevertheless, it was still a good action scene. And then I have to say, this next part I saw coming. I don't know about you, Ginge.
Oh yeah. Oh,
You saw that coming. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna have a go at it. Look, for some
no,
people,
no, it's fantastic, but I saw
Yeah.
it coming from a mile away.
yeah. So it was like, I listened to other people who also saw it coming, and for some reason, that's a bad thing. Like Ray actually didn't see it coming. Yeah, but
Good.
that's fine because not everyone does.
I enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
So not everyone does, And so, but nevertheless, seeing all these guys fly in the way they did, fantastic. I mean, my goosebumps had goosebumps on it. It was great. I mean, like, this is what we want. Oh my God, I'm getting what I want. I'm so happy right now, Mandalorian.
Exactly. Large scale fucking laser fights and just people going at it.
Moses as well, Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Oh
Fucking
man.
beautiful.
Oh, it was gorgeous, mate. Honestly, I was
It was, but it was still fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of showed you the code. It kind of made me think to myself, damn, these Mandalorians are reminding me of Travelers a little bit. But nevertheless,
Sorry, it's just like in Endgame, where I knew at some point all the Avengers are gonna show up. But when it happens, it's still fantastic moment. It's just one of those. Some people know it's gonna happen, some didn't. But
I'll be honest with you, just going on to Endgame.
Yeah.
Until fucking Sam Wilson spoke to Cam in the com, I actually totally forgot about those fuckers. I knew they were coming back, but at the same time, I forgot that they were coming back.
Oh yeah, no, I knew that. The minute he stood up on his own, it's like, here we go.
Oh really?
They all show up.
Okay.
The way they showed up was fantastic. I did not expect, like, with the portals.
Yeah. Well, but
I always have a good point, Cheeto.
just to see all those Mandalorians, and they've got his back, and they know they have to now move to a new place, and because this is the way. It was great stuff. We then go. I'll get to you guys' opinion, but as we're almost near the end of the episode, we might as well continue talking about the rest of the episode. We then get because the Mandalorian's coming to save the day. He's then got an opportunity to run to a ship where they're telling him to get the fuck out of there. And as he gets on his ship, Carl Weathers, the wily old fox, he's ready to pounce on him. But Mandalorian's still got a trick or two up his sleeve, literally, because up his sleeve comes a fucking rope dart which shoots the carbonite thing, which brings up the carbonite gas everywhere. And now Carl Weathers can't get a shot in, and Mando shoots back, disposes of Weathers, and flies off. And then we get a quick shot of Weathers, and luckily he had some Beskar under his sleeve, under his shirt, and that Beskar saved his life. I'm not sure if Mandalorian knew where to shoot or not.
He knew where to shoot. He's such a good shot. He knew exactly. He didn't want to kill him. He just wanted to get him off the ship.
Yeah,
so
he had respect for him. Yeah, because I think he looked at him as sort of almost like a friend. What I mean? He didn't want to kill him. He understood where he was coming from to a degree. Yeah. But he was happy to kill off his rival bounty hunters, though. But yeah. So
exactly. Then you don't give a shit about, but your guild leader.
Yeah.
There's an element of respect there, because don't forget, Weathers gave him the opportunity at first to just walk away. It didn't say didn't offer to kill him straight away. So it was more just like, all right, get the fuck off my ship and let's get out of here. And then you get the lovely moment where he's flying off, and Favreau's character comes up next to him in that jetpack, and he's like, I've got to get me one of those.
Yeah, I gotta get
that's your level 4 upgrade, right?
Yeah.
Level 4 upgrade.
So Ray, what do you think of that section of the episode then? The final parts, with the Mandos and him and dealing with those guys and everything.
The reveal, because I wasn't expecting it, was like, something finally, and you could just see like the camaraderie. Everyone kind of gathers around Mando in his moment of need, like with the rockets going off and just the jetpacks flying. I just was like, finally we're seeing some like proper full spectrum everything. Pew, 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 pew. Nah, that was like a nerdgasm moment for me.
Nice.
Overall, Ginge.
Yeah.
first, Ray and I were talking about it. Ray brought up something. This first 3 episodes could have easily have been 1 episode, because this first 3 episodes feels like the end of Act 1. Like now he's back in space. He's taken Baby Yoda. We're on to Act 2 now, and this is where we might meet what's her face and some of the other characters.
Yeah, Gina Carano and all the other characters. It's still got the what do they call the black troopers? It's not death troopers or something like that.
The Death Stormtroopers.
Yeah, the ones that are in black. They've still got that. There's like there's other little bits to come. I don't want to reiterate too much in case people have avoided trailers and shit. But there's still like those scenes to come. So it's going to be interesting to see, what's Gina Carano's character? Is she a Mandalorian but has taken off the armor kind of thing? Is she?
I know what she is. You want me to tell you?
Oh yeah, go for it. Not.
She's an ex-rebel fighter. She used to be part of the rebellion.
Oh, okay.
She's a rebel enforcer. That's why she's so good.
Okay, cool. Okay, that makes sense because it was bugging. It was going to bug me to think like, yeah, lovely. All right. Yeah, good to know.
Like the best person to deal with because those guys think that those guys represent the Empire. She's a rebel. She probably won't sell him out. But how does he know her? Did he know her? Did they used to hang out? Who knows? Was she a Mandalorian? Hopefully, we'll find all of these things out.
Now it gets like even more interesting going forward.
I do think episode 4 is going to be a more somber episode. I can feel it. I really feel it. I think this is going to be the episode where we get maybe no action, and I have no problem with that. You know what I mean? I have no problem.
If things are done right, then you won't need. You won't need too much action, if it's done right, kind of thing. Sorry. So, Cousin Chio, I have a legit question. Why is the Mando the one that is allowed to go out when he doesn't have proper equipment? Well, again, that's a good question. I don't know. Compared to the others who were better armed with backpacks as well.
Well, in my opinion, maybe he's going for his turn to go out. Like it's his period of time to go out, and it just so happens all this shit happens during his period. That's just my guess. The idea that they only come out one at a time, I find a bit weird. Imagine just sitting in that armor all fucking day, man. If I was down there, I would only be in my fucking pants and underwear, mate. You know what I mean? I'd be like, my shirt and underwear. I wouldn't want to be like fucking chilling down there in that fucking helmet and stuff. Like, fuck that. I'm not doing anything down there. Why am I going to act like I'm going to be going for a fight all the time?
I'd just be banging Twi'leks all the time.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I'll be like, can you give
those tentacles, mate? They can do some stuff.
Yeah, give me a quarter piece of Beskar, and that'll get you like several Twi'leks for like several nights. You know what I mean? Yeah. Do you know what the value of Beskar is?
I'm guessing 1 bar is probably like a couple of grand.
Really? Nah. That's nothing.
Maybe more.
More than that, man.
Yeah, more. I don't know.
Because,
currency.
Because Carl Weathers said, even I'm rich, and he just showed off 2 bars, from his shit. He said rich, not got, like rich, like well off, settled for life. You know what I mean? So like those 2 bits of Beskar just sorted him out for life. Whilst
it could be the equivalent of like whatever vibranium costs. That kind of valuable metal.
Well, I always found it weird that maybe the Empire didn't need to give such a large bounty. They could have given half the Beskar they gave off, and that would have been plenty for what the job was.
Yeah, but you're talking about a baby yodeling. These things are born, they're born with the Force. Like it's like an automatic thing with that species, apparently. And
you
get that and turn it into a Sith. That's it. God knows what you could do. So it's definitely valuable.
I'm not sure if this is canon, but in Legends, like species from Yoda's planet apparently have a large midichlorian count, but it's towards the light side of the Force. There's never been a Sith Yoda species, and there's only been 3 or 4, including the baby one, of known existence. Because some of it's Legends now; it's not canon anymore.
Yeah. Again, we're dealing with a company that's not going to take from, unless they created it themselves, like in those stupid animations, then they might not go with that, which is a bit of a shame because, like, imagine you're a fan and you know about the lore that you've read in the books and all that, and they don't take anything from that. It's kind of hard to readjust yourself.
Yeah, not just, but like, like Admiral Thrawn, he's now a prequel character, no longer, or Clone Wars to be more precise, and no longer a post Return of the Jedi character like he was in the books, which are now in Legend. And they have used him, by the way. They have used him. They have, even though they used him in a different era, and also they gave him pupils, which really pissed me off. Like, his eyes are supposed to be clear red with no pupils or anything. Like
pure red. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he's supposed to have blue skin, and he's humanoid looking. He's basically looks like a human.
I think they used him to kind of hook people into the Clone Wars. They took him out of that lore to say, hey, look, maybe we might use stuff from the main, like, books and lore and all this kind of stuff. But I don't know, it's just it's difficult. I mean, when Clone Wars launched, Disney didn't own it at the time.
Yeah, they own it now.
Yeah, they own it now, but at that time, Disney did not own it. I know that I think they did the animation, but they didn't own LucasArts. Here we go. Thrawn was in TIE Fighter back in the 90s, so he was in a game as well. So the lore was created then by LucasArts.
I mean, Thrawn was still around during the Return of the Jedi era and all that shit, Empire Strikes, but he wasn't. No one knew that he existed until obviously the books made him more relevant, because he took over after the Empire because Vader and Palpatine were dead. So, I'm sorry, I did have something to say regarding all of this. I just lost my train of thought.
Battle of Yavin helped develop TIE Advance and the TIE Defender. Oh, I see. I don't know if this was the first thing he was in, but it was the introduction to Thrawn. Oh, there you go. I don't know anything much, or if anything, about the lore.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm more interested in this than I am about Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker feels like something I just have to watch for the sake of it.
You just get out of the way, get that piece of shit done.
So I connect everything together.
Yeah.
Do you feel that Yoda Baby has anything to do with the Rise of the First Order?
No. I think just Favreau's gonna just. I don't know what they're going to do with Baby Yoda. I mean, if the connection to the Force has been lost, then, again, that's what bugs me about The Force Awakens. It's like, why is the Force just exclusively tied to the fucking Skywalkers? The universe is so expansive. You're telling me the Force just shut down and then it's reawakened, like, well, I don't know. It's just I hate that trilogy.
That's what bugs me. Like, we have a universe here, and everything seems to be about a handful of people. You know what I mean?
So
galaxy and a bunch of
so human centric as well. That's what's always bugged me with the Star Wars universe. It's like, can we focus on some aliens? All the most popular characters in the Star Wars universe tend to be aliens. Chewie, the fucking Baby Yoda now.
Admiral Akbar, which is a disgrace what they've done to him. And Ryan Johnson calls it. Oh, by the way, I was really looking forward to telling this. My last customer today, my cab, worked on Rise of Skywalker. She was she's a designer of some sort, and she helped make the red stormtrooper outfits.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And she also worked on, was it Solo or Rogue One? But then I went on a rant about how much I hate Ryan Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy to her. I said to her, I've never liked Ryan. I like Ryan Johnson. I find all his films shit. A lot of people like Looper. I think Looper's a pile of shit. And the thing about Ryan Johnson, and somebody said this about him, and I 100% agree. He thinks that his films are a lot more cleverer than they are.
Yeah. I think that was Jeremy Johns that said that.
Yes.
Yes. He goes, that's exactly it. His films aren't clever. He's not clever. He's just a fucking twat. You know, he made like one good film. I did enjoy Looper, even though it got very boring in the middle, just like The Last Jedi got fucking boring. Car chase in space. What the fuck, man? Come on.
Making
But anyway, I'm not going to fucking talk about that pile of shit. I just want that to end, and then moving forward, just that's it. No more Skywalkers, no more Kennedy, no more humans. Just go fucking, you know, whatever, Twi'leks, strippers. And they
there's
do
a lot of
or something.
humanoid aliens out there, so it's not that difficult for them to do a Zabrak, for instance. You know,
No, exactly. I mean, they were going to jump at one point.
Sorry?
Fine, you know, it would have been interesting to see that kind of world.
or like a hutter, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I want nothing to do with this timeline anymore. Like Mandalorian and Obi-Wan to be the only two things connected with this timeline, and then that's it. Then moving forward, just nothing. No past references. No, well, I mean, past references is fine, but you know, just fucking move forward or go way back. Way back is better, and not like 100 years back, because then you'll have actual baby Yoda. I mean, like before Yoda.
You know what? You know what I liked about the Mandalorian as well is, for a start, when you saw the trailer for the Mandalorian, it was pretty much episode 1. Majority of the stuff we saw in the trailers, which was great. Yeah. We had no idea about the Jawas and shit like that, and another Mandalorian, other Mandalorians and stuff like that. No idea. None of that shit was given away, which is so good. And this is the same, because if we all knew prior to this show coming out that he's going to be fucking playing foster daddy to Baby Yoda, I think there'll be fucking groans everywhere. You know what I mean? Honestly. Yeah. Here we go again. Disney and their fucking baby shit. You know what I mean? They can't even do a bounty hunter show without making it kiddie friendly. You know, for fuck's sake.
It's all about Yoda toys.
Yeah, Yoda toys are going to sell like crazy.
Yeah.
Of course, of course. But, you know, no matter how fucking edgy Star Wars wants to get, they have to throw in a bit of cutesy. But this time they've made it work. And it takes the genius for someone like Favreau. Again, this is why everyone wants him to take over Kennedy's throne. This guy is a Star Wars man. You could tell Rian Johnson isn't. Yeah, because only Rian Johnson would do something as stupid as kill a fucking Admiral Akbar. You know, everyone knows that, what's her face, the Laura Dern character, that should have been Admiral Akbar's moment. That should have been his moment to give up his life for everybody else. Yeah.
But she was completely, Admiral Holdo was completely fucking useless in it. And who dresses up like that if you're in the middle of a battle? Like, what kind of glamorous shit is that? Where's your fucking military outfit?
Exactly.
Oh, I can nitpick at that stupid film all day.
I never want Rian Johnson to be involved in it. I just don't like him. He's a smug director who really thinks he knows best when he doesn't, and he lies. Him and Kathleen Kennedy, they're the worst things to ever happen to Star Wars ever. Even J.J. Abrams ain't all that great. I don't know how you feel about Force Awakens. I think it's a pile of shit. You know, I mean, it's rehashed bollocks.
I like the first 3/4 of it, but I don't like the last act. You know. The last act just completely derailed the whole film. The first 3/4 fine. You know, you have to establish new characters. I don't hate the new characters, but they were badly handled in The Last Jedi, all 3 of them. But in Force Awakens, you know, it is a big task to undertake. They played it way too safe. And you know, but for what it is, the first 3/4 fine. You know. But J.J. Abrams, I don't rate as a director. I think he's for the simpleton generation who just like things in their face and just, you know, I've never been a fan of his.
Now, I might appreciate The Force Awakens over the next, say, 10, 15 years once they've established enough backstory to fill in this gap. Because my problem with Force Awakens is, okay, we're continuing after Return of the Jedi here. What the fuck? What, did they not beat the Empire? I know this is a new group, but they are still the remnants of the old Empire. Nevertheless, they're pretty much old Empire repackaged. So why the fuck? What happened? You know, like, we left on such a lovely note. You know, the Empire's defeated. Yet I'm still seeing stormtroopers. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, like I just got like it felt so excuse the pun, it felt so alien. Yeah, just to be dropped into this environment like without any idea what the fuck has gone on before. So in order for episode 7 to work now, I just need them to fill in the gaps.
Yeah,
I need to know.
That's all episode 9 can be now. Just a big fucking gap filler. Get it done. Get it out the way.
No, Ginge, you got me wrong. I don't want episode 9 to be the gap filler. I want them to make future content which fills in the gap of between 7 and 6.
No, I don't give a shit. I do not care.
It's supposed to happen, man. I mean, that is important to me because it just came out of nowhere. Just someone pulled out their ass.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't need like gap filler for between 6 and 7. I have no interest. None.
Like, in order to make sense of this universe from 7, I need to know where this First Order came from. I need to know how it began. You know, that's
we might get remnants of it in the Mandalorian. We might get, some glimpses of how it happens in the Mandalorian. But I'll be honest with you, once it's done, it's done. I have a clear conscience. I don't give a shit. Let's move on. Because otherwise I could sit there and say, well, in that case, I want. Because if they ever turn around and they said, you know what, we're redoing the prequels, I'll be like, yes, fuck it, redo those prequels from scratch.
And then the sequels.
But we don't want that. I want to move forward, new characters, new universe, new tits, whatever,
Do you think, I'm not sure if I asked you this, because I asked Roberto this, do you think they'll ever make stuff after episode 9, like in the timeline-wise, or will episode 9 be the wall and nothing will be beyond that wall because there's no more story to tell?
They probably will, but they'll probably go further forward with none of those characters.
Yuuzhan Vong will come into play. Do you know about them?
Who?
The Yuuzhan Vong.
The fuck are they?
They're a species that came into. They were post Return of the Jedi in the Legends. It's hard to say what they are because I'm kind of forgotten myself. But I do know there were. You might have to look into that. But like the Mandalorians, they were the Jedi's second biggest enemy.
Oh, I see.
Because they came from the Outer Rims, and then they wanted to take over places like Coruscant and stuff, and they had no idea about the Jedi's. And then they came across Jedi's, and I thought, fucking hell, man, these guys are badass. And they ended up having to relearn and train in a way that they can take on Jedi's, which is why they're so formidable against them, because many a Mandalorian has killed Jedi's in the past.
Yeah, again, you're asking them to include something that Disney didn't create. I doubt it. I very much doubt it. I think people, for the time being, people should reserve the fact that, not reserve, there's another word to it. Resign. Thank you. Resign themselves to the fact that whatever you know about the expanded unit, it's just not going to happen. It's just not. Disney likes to have total control of intellectual property. If they use anything from the expanded universe, that means they have to pay royalties to those authors.
I understand that, but they've still got, unfortunately for Disney, not for us, but for Disney, is that they've got 6 films that they didn't make. No, so yeah, 6 films they didn't make, and if you want to throw in the holiday special, maybe even 7, because they even mentioned things like Life Day in the episode 1 of The Mandalorian. So they are using certain things. I mean,
but again, that's LucasArts. They own LucasArts property.
Yeah,
anything from LucasArts that LucasArts created is now owned by Disney. The books and the comic books from Dark Horse are not owned by Disney. That intellectual property, those ideas, you would have to pay royalties to the author.
No,
ideas.
I totally agree, but I'm hopefully they realize that things like Boba Fett not dying, that came from the expanded universe. That's why people go on about it. That's why there's always a
because they own Boba Fett, the character.
Yeah,
they can do that without paying.
But what I'm trying to get to, that amongst the fan base, there's a lot of shit that we already know, which has come from expanded universe, which is expanded.
Yes.
our love for Star Wars, and then, unfortunately for Disney, is that they're kind of hands are tied because things like the Beskar armor, all of these things, yeah. We know what these are. The Thrawn character, they've got to maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's very hard for them to create new ideas when there's already so much shit established, even if it's when it comes to the expanded universe. And I'm kind of losing my what I'm trying to say here, but
I know what you mean. I know what you
Yeah.
mean. I'm trying to get it through to you.
Yeah.
That no matter what the fans want from the expanded universe, it's very, very unlikely that Disney will go down that route. And it's purely because of money. Nothing else, just money. Because that's what it always is with Disney.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the sad reality. If Disney wanted to make their life easier, which you pay the author some royalties, but you are sitting on a fucking gold mine. You take the expanded universe stuff that other people created, because those books becoming movies will blow people away. All right,
Yeah.
we know this. We're smart, okay, but Disney don't want to go down route. It might change with Favreau. It might change with Favreau. If Favreau took over, he might pay homage and do that.
I think he would.
I wouldn't put it past him, but he'll have to fight with Iger about royalties and things like that. Or they might, yeah.
Then so be it, because if people, lots of fans are very much invested. You get them more invested by sticking with what they got and then paying these people what they deserve, and you'll make and they will make more money in the process, but people will be happy, keep us satisfied, will keep coming back for more. There's a reason why fucking Rise of Skywalker is not fucking selling well, because Star Wars has been shit for a long time. Even before Disney bought it, the prequels, people are looking back at them fondly. They're still shit. Yeah, they're still shit regardless. You put prequels on now, I think, my God, how bollocks, absolute bollocks.
Look, if they don't go down that route, what I would at least do, because of the fuck ups that they've done, as a thank you for sticking around to the fans, I will turn some of those books into animated movies. That's what I will do. Much like Warner Brothers have taken a lot of their runs and their books and turned them into animated movies, and are frankly, some of those stuff are even better than anything the MCU has produced, with exception to like Infinity War and Endgame and things like that. But like things like Under the Red Hood, Infinity, oh god, one of the crises, I think it's Infinity Crisis. The one with the Flash where he runs back and changes things, Flash Zone or something. All these kind of things have been brilliantly Flashpoint. Thank you. Brilliantly translated into animated films, and Star Wars, Disney should do that with some of the books and some of the Dark Horse comics. They really should, because there is some amazing stuff there. It will sell like crazy if they brought it out on like Blu-ray. Even the Warner Brothers stuff sells well. Okay, sales have dipped a bit, but it still sells well enough for them to keep doing it.
James, before I forget, what was the best Star Wars content to come out after the original trilogy, before Mandalorian? And I'll tell you what it is.
For me,
Rogue One.
Rogue One for me.
Yeah, Rogue One. Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars film.
I'll jump to it. I'll tell you what it is for me. The cutscenes from Old Republic.
Oh my God.
The cutscenes from Old Republic are the best shit I've ever seen in Star Wars since after the and that's what I want. When you talk about animation earlier, that's the animation I want.
Exactly. Yeah.
The quality of that stuff is amazing. It feels like Star Wars with the elements of the prequels in it as well, with the music and shit. It works so well. They are really missing a trick here, man. I'm not doing Old Republic stuff. It's the way forward.
Wise, we're going to do it, but obviously they buggered off. Probably because they clashed with Kennedy, But those animations, those cutscenes are the best. I mean, for me, like I said, Rogue One's my favorite Star Wars film. I know that's shocking, but I fucking love it.
Yeah, a lot of people.
But those cutscenes are phenomenal. You know.
Yeah, phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really what I want for my animation. I mean, they've got. I don't understand when these producers and stuff, when they see these things, I think, gee, this is amazing quality here. This gives me the vibe of Star Wars. Why don't we progress with this and fucking make a full-on animated sort of film feature?
Because producers don't want to take the risk of investing billions of pounds.
Billions. This is animation.
No, but they know they've got
money.
This is animation, and this is Star Wars.
Brand. So they keep reinvesting in what people know.
Yeah, but this is what people know, and it's got the positive responses from everyone. When you look at YouTube comments, it is just full of positivity about these cutscenes, that they feel Star Wars. They love it. You know, it's epic in scale as well, because when you're doing animation, the sky's the fucking limit. You know what I mean? It really is. I really
unfortunately, producers are, you know, as much as they are a necessity, they're also a fucking thorn in the side of a creator, because they control the money, and yeah, they're very, very scared about taking risks, and that's why you're constantly seeing sequels and remakes, because they're not creatively minded. They are they're accountants basically, and this is why Hollywood is so creatively bankrupt. But then you don't blame them, because a lot of times you introduce new things and those new things do flop. So, you know, when you have a history of trying to do new intellectual property and 1 in every 100 is success, then you kind of see where they're coming from. But Star Wars prints money.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Do. All right, cat. My cat's yelling at me because I'm yelling. It said you can literally do a story about the fucking womp rats in that bloody thing, and it will sell. You know, it's just like their Armageddon is when Luke comes and just fucking wipes them all out in that little tea thingy. But you know, they just, Disney have to realize this, that Star Wars is literally just a license to print money. It's not Star Trek. It's not other properties. It is a global phenomenon like no other. And the sooner they realize it, the sooner they can unshackle their idiocy and just be like, let's just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And if it's done right, people will go and see it, or people will buy it, or people will consume it through their streaming service. It's that simple.
Now, it's safe to say, Ginge, there's more shit Star Wars movies than there are good ones, would you say?
Yeah, there is. Yeah. There's 4 good ones, the rest are shit.
So you're absolutely right. It is a license to print money, because if it can survive the fucking prequels, honestly, the prequels are a joke in filmmaking, mate.
Yeah.
The acting is so bad. That's why when I did my top 5 yesterday, Samuel L. Jackson wasn't in it. Yeah.
He was crap.
He was awful. I mean, Mace Windu, he's lucky that he's the legendary Samuel L. Jackson. That's what's kind of given him any sort of, you know, positivity regarding him being in that. But his performance was just as bad as everybody else.
Yeah, it was awful.
Very bad. The only people who acted was Ian McDermott and fucking and Obi-Wan.
That's it. Yeah.
You know, but
because British actors can take dog shit and turn it to fucking gold, because that's how they're trained. You know?
Yeah, look at Alan Rickman in Die Hard.
Yeah.
You know, superb as Hans Gruber. Superb. One of the best.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Best movie bad guys of all time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a generic flick, but he's so memorable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Anyway, on that note, I think an hour is a good amount of time to end the stream. Good chat. I think we could always do a separate stream on Star Wars. Star Wars still.
We come up with a name, as a, you know, regarding that, because I see other people like they want, some other guys that call themselves the Rule of Two, other guys that call themselves the Jedi Council. We need to start come up with a name of our own, like Rogue Squadron or some shit like that. You know. Yeah,
but something silly.
Yeah, the Cuntalorians.
Yeah, Cuntalorians or something.
We can discuss that in the chat.
Yeah,
I'm done. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, everyone.
You got anything to say, mate? I kind of left you out of this. I apologize.
No, it's all right. I'm totally lost because I haven't read any of the books or played the games. So it's like listening to you argue about it.
I'll show you some cutscenes later, mate.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yeah, show him the cutscenes. They're amazing. I'm gonna go watch them now as well.
Yeah.
And but yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Join us again next week where we'll be discussing episode 4 and anything else that comes to mind, and hopefully we would have come up with our clan name by then as well.
Watch it now.
The last 2 episodes will be released in the same week as well.
But by the way, Jim, sorry, I just want to say that this is the bollocks, this show, by the way. I don't think we actually said that, by the way. I love this fucking show. I want more of this fucking show, and I can't wait to get more of this fucking show. Bring on Friday. We'll talk about it.
Already filming series 2 already, so we'll have to wait. It'll be next November when we get the next series, so that's not too bad either. Anyway, bye.
Bye.
And hang on.